Okay, so this is the next video, video 5 for Justin P. So the first one here is I'll talk about the mushroom field housekeeping. So with that one, you were looking for keeping track of the mushrooms via the grid locations, the counters and lists. So mine doesn't actually talk with the. Actually, I don't believe it does talk with the high score at all. It does talk with the text pointer, but so here, what it has is just a generic deleting of the list, the regeneration of the whole thing. I think I've gone over these, so I won't spend too much time here. Just rebuilding and deleting, rebuilding new lists. And all of this is done through the mush array pointer here, which I'll go back here. Is just a double list of mushroom pointers to keep track of each individual mushroom in the grid via the X and Y position. So the next part here. I guess I should explain why it's necessary to leave it as a game object. In the level 1 CPP, I went ahead and made the new mush grid, and I guess I could have turned it into a singleton, but functionally I felt that it did exactly the same thing, and that it was important to have the mushrooms be able to actually reference the mushroom grid. Like I said, I could do it with the singleton, but I felt that it didn't provide any extra functionality or ease of use for doing that, so I just went ahead and left it as an actual object so that the mushrooms themselves could reference the mushroom grid. So I do have the mechanism to regenerate the grid. Like I said, it does it individually. Or sorry, not individually. It does it all at one time, which is not what was wanted. But I just didn't have enough time to get it to work properly. If I was going to implement it, and I had a few more days to work on it, I would be using a strategy pattern of some sort to switch back and forth between regenerating and not regenerating. So when it was regenerating, the player wouldn't be able to move. He would be off screen somewhere, not able to shoot or make sound, while the mushrooms regenerated themselves one by one. And then I would also put the damaged mushrooms into an array and work on the mushrooms that way. So work on them one at a time going through that array. So I didn't have to search through all 900 positions on the grid. So that's how I would have done it if I had more time to work on it, but for now it's just going to be just doing them all at once. So that's that. Let's see. I should talk about this. Oops, that's not. I should talk about the scorpion, spider, flea, and the critter generator. So I went through them briefly, but I'll go through them one more time. Here with the flea, the scorpion, and the spider. Most specifically, the flea here, because the flea, he is. I should also talk about the. I'll talk about that in a second. So the flea respawns when there are fewer than 30 mushrooms in the bottom of the player screen. So that can be seen here in the game manager. So if this line here is called, sorry, not called, but if it passes this, so it gets from the wave manager, which collects all the data. It gets the amount of mushrooms that are required to spawn. The flea, it gets that number, which is right now set to 30, and then it also gets the amount of mushrooms that are currently in the scene. So these can both be, well, I guess this one doesn't matter to be set, but this one can be set in the text document. So if the mushrooms that are present are less than the number specified in the text document, it will, and there's no flea already present, it will go ahead and spawn one of the fleas using the factory. So that's done optimally using the destructor of the of each one of the mushrooms. So each time one of the mushrooms dies, this would get called. So not every frame, so that's good. Let's see, the flea, rest of the flea stuff. He also has a % chance to spawn a mushroom, so it's not obviously a 100% chance. It also checks to see if the mushroom, if there is a mushroom at the position that it's currently at. That's that part there. So it's not going to overlap and create mushrooms multiple times. So that's good. In the scorpion, let's see here. The general setup here, the updates. It's going to see if it's off the screen, it'll destroy itself, obviously. And then collision with the bullet, destroy itself, spawn an explosion. And that's all. It actually doesn't use this scorpion sound here. It actually does use the wave manager. This is not even being used because it didn't even set the volume, so it's defaulted to 0. So that's not even being used. This part here is what's being used. The sound manager plays sound scorpion. So it does in fact use the sound manager strategy pattern for that. So that's that video. Thank you.